Good evening, water siblings, and welcome back. Last time, we spoke with the villagers of Kiakukya and received a quest from the local warden. But there is some hesitation among the party about pursuing that quest. We are fairly low level and not particularly ready for combat. And so it has been decided that we will hold off on completing that quest until we are high enough level and have appropriate gear. But we do have a few other quests that we can pursue. We have these three here: O Glorious Shekinah, and 2 quests to visit historical sites. These hopefully will give us a few levels and we can perhaps return to raising Indrix another time, but more importantly, we can continue to pursue the main story. So our goal here would be to reach level 10 or 11 so we can go to Golgotha. So let's look at our map and decide what we're going to do. We're here at the end of the River Svi. And we are looking for 2 historical sites and the 6 Day Stilt. I believe one of them is here, Darshapad. Deep within an earth cleft and nestled in the crumbling shale, here stretches the ancient province where the Eaters carried out their enigmatic studies. So that's one of our quests, is to visit that location. It's pretty close to Joppa, so that'll be simple. But the other quest is to visit, well, let's take a look. The embassies of Nazokesh. Let's see. I believe they're the little asterisk symbols that are highlighted. And there seems to be one out east in the Rainbow Wood. So let's go take a look at that. Here it is, yeah. The embassies of Nazokesh. Eaters communed with cultures stranger than even their own in the mouldered province, whose ruins lie neath a kaleidoscope of shrooms. The Rainbow Wood is dangerous. If we were to step into it, we would become lost immediately. Spores dance in eddies across kaleidoscopic fungal bonnets. Rivers of primordial soup cast in the light of lava gurgle a quickening melody. It seems like there is a very tight entrance here of jungle into the Rainbow Wood. So it seems like if we're careful, we can enter the Rainbow Wood without getting close to any of the fungus. I think we can do it. Okay. So those are the two sites we need to visit. And the other quest we have is to visit the 6 Day Stilt in the salt dunes of Moghra'yi, the Great Salt Desert. And we are tasked to toss an artifact into a well at the 6 Day Stilt. So I think what we'll do is go to the embassies of Nasakesh in the Rainbow Wood first, and then go to Darchapad, just northeast of Joppa, and from there make the journey to the 6 Day Stilt. So before we set off, let's take a look at our equipment and make sure we have our recoilers charged. And they are. I think once we reach the embassies, we can recoil back to Joppa. I think that would be good. We got plenty of water. 72 drams of water. Okay. Let's make our way east through the jungles. Investigate the ruins, but I won't get distracted. The seventh Dupir. You know, I said I wouldn't get distracted. But look at all these bookcases. What? Look at all these bookshelves. Oh my gosh. And water. Hookahs and bookshelves. And a shrine to Dalatafa the First. The Ushur Woe. We'll go closer to read that. But whoa. I have never seen this many bookshelves in one place. Oh my. Something's on fire over there. There's a goat folk, Yurt Warden. They are neutral to me, so that's good. There are goat folk around this rifle. I'm going to disassemble. And I'm going to walk closer to this shrine, give it a read. This shrine depicts a significant event from the life of the ancient Sultan Dalatafa I. Late in 3287 BR, after a bout of consumption, the Sultan of Qud abdicated the throne. because of Dolatava's reputation for staining glass, she was chosen as the successor. Gold folk shaman. Books. These are very important. Return when you recover the prism. Do not conduct electricity. Huh. I can't tell if that's coincidental or not. I'm going to auto-explore and see what else this area has to offer. Oh my gosh, look at all these bookshelves. I pieced together some clues and arrive at the following conclusion. Utter a blessing for the joined, Uxes and Runstein Shardipine, whose imperial alliance by marriage allowed flowers to build workshops inside the slag democracy. A little bit of Sultan history for Uxes. I'm going to be taking all of these books, and if any of them are a different color, I will read them a little bit. Here's a shrine to Artaxerxes II, the magenta six-sided die. While wandering around Garden Province Carvishire, Artaxerxes II discovered Sabiwan Spire. There he befriended the villagers of Ezra and played games of chance through the night. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's a lot of books. I wish there were more, to be honest. But this is perfect. Well, that was a worthy distraction in my book. Let's continue. Ooh, a lair we've discovered. Hypsiraculum, a coraclam, legendary spitting slug. And we gained a level. I will not adventure in there, but we have marked it. I don't want to investigate roasted boar. No. No. Okay, let's make sure we don't step into the rainbow wood by accident. Okay, if we go east to Parasangs, then north to Parasangs, and directly northeast, we should be safe. You lose your way beneath a dense canopy of spores. You discovered Dupir Triad. Well, we are now in the Rainbow Wood. And I need to be careful not to get too close to any of these spore puffs. These normal mushrooms should be fine. A honey weep. Now this is not the embassies, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to navigate this safely in our current state. I also seem to have left my party behind, which is not good. I am going to try and escape these woods. And I'm going to very carefully avoid the mushrooms. I regain my bearings and lost my way again. Oh dear. There's a person over there. Hudam Guinand, warmonger amongst the true. Let's talk to them, maybe they can help us out. Whoa. We have a lot of legendaries here, oh my. Implanted Lugnapol's Goryin, Knight Commander of the Holy Temple. They are in some serious combat over there. I'm gonna hang out and stay out of the way a little bit, but oh, cool. Domesticated Acostroni crab, the many-legged eyeless king crab deep crawler. They are disliked by the villagers of Sabak for disproving a famous theorem, and disliked by frogs for impersonating one of their leaders. Your thirst is mine, my water is yours. Let me share secrets with them and get crab reputation. Now let's talk to this Templar. Oiled and brushed mail hang across his crooked spine and salient jaw. The color, too, was sucked out of his irises by his tangled lineage, and his wet, rosy lips catch the light and toss it back across a sharp sneer. His chest is exploded upward in emulation of his advanced peerage. Let's talk to Lugnapol's Garin. What does he have to trade? Cybernetics wedges. That I want. I might be willing to trade a book or two for that. Here, take these folding chairs, these trade goods, and I will trade you some books that I just happened to come across. Normally I'd save these, but I'm going to want those cybernetics wedges. $592 drams. Yeah, let's try that. They will have to pony up. I have to select the book. There we go. 8 drams of water, they will pony up for that. Thank you. That was worth it. I am not going to share my water with this Templar. They are fully implanted. They have an optical bioscanner as well as hyperelastic ankle tendons and the skill soft and palladium electro deposits. I don't want to share my water with one of his kind. There's another one. They seem to be very angry with the mushrooms. I am going to attempt to proselytize this crab, though. They seem to be not affiliated. Let's see. They're unconvinced by my pleas. Well, I think we've thoroughly wasted enough time. Let's get out of here and go back to our camp where we left our party. Hi friends. I sincerely apologize. Let's see if I can direct to come along. Direct to come along. There we go. They were probably wondering where I went. I was gone for almost a week. It is now the waning beetle moon of the 6th of Tishru Eux. Now, our initial plan to visit the embassies failed pretty miserably, but we did come away with a lot of books, and we were able to trade for 3 credits, cybernetics credits. So I'm happy about that. Let's make our way to Darchapod, which will actually be accessible to us. Some ruins I will visit. Tabipa Ring. There's some other new ruins nearby. Let's see. Tupir Seal. And we will come back to those later. And visit Darchapod. 250 XP for visiting, and we're now level 10. Is there anything of note here? Rubber gum injector will take. There's some stairs down. Here's a shrine to Uxes, the commanding spectre. we learned a little bit about Uxes. At the Battle of Circushan Hollow, Uxes fought to liberate flowers. He wielded a potent axe with such dexterity that it became forever known as Potent Suitor, the boon of flowers. Friends of flowers, Uxes. Flower friend. Okay. I am satisfied with our visit here. I don't really want to go down. So, we've collected a decent amount of books and are finding lots of ruins to bear flower. Oh, look at this. This is Monique's potent boomstick. Ceremonial slag steel is shaped to a smooth bore barrel. It's stamped with fanciful depictions of bones. Well, we want that. Snapjaw Warlord gained a level. Seems we found a unique item, a named item, which is really good. It was just laying there. Okay, is there anything we need to stop by Jopa for? I don't think so. I think we're okay. So I think we should begin our trek to the 6 Day Stilt. Let's read this though. The Salt Dunes. The Ivory Sea's dunes are like waves frozen in place. There are cracks in the salt from where the earth, blistered by the jeweled sun, contracted and broke. The horizon melts the sky together with the vast plain of Moghra'yi, the Great Salt Desert. I'm going to line myself up directly south of the 6 Day Stilt and begin heading north. We're lost. So I will head north. Who do we have here? And this is Okakayakakake Oya, the well-dressed legendary albino ape. They're loved by apes, disliked by insects, and disliked by the villagers of Narration for eating one of their young. Well, let's go speak with them. Your thirst is mine, my water is yours. Let's try proselytizing. They are unconvinced. Well, it was worth a shot. But we're no longer lost. We can continue. Here we are again. You know what we could do? Let's take a look at our skills. Yes. I think we should first get cooking and gathering. We'll need to know how to cook if we or to contract something and need to cook a cure, we need that. And while we're here in the salt dunes, I'll take wilderness lore salt dunes. So hopefully won't get lost as often. A scorpiok. Motes of salt hang still on the notches of its chitin and in the air above it. Behind, its stinger coils in harmonic virtue. And we continue north. Seems like I didn't line up perfectly. We're here. 1500 XP we received. And our level 11. Okay. We have some folks here. And a local warden. And Zapur, disciple of the coiled lamb, who we need to speak with. Folds of coarse weave, physician's cloth, hang off the lysome frame like a gunslinger's shawl. And the crinkled brim of an old hat blots the sun and starlight. We can share secrets of Reship with Zapur. Peace and health in the light of the star, pilgrim. Brood with me on the life of Reshif if you are willing. Who is Reshif? A spiritual patron of kith and kin, who did so much for us, and who leads me and others like me to the path of healing. For, above all, he was a healer. He dressed the wounds of the sick, and rid the land of the plagues of the gyre. He was also a sultan, but he was the last sultan. He unbricked the walls of Moghra'yi, so we could pick berries in the orchards they hid. I have more to ask. What's inside the tent? A quiet shrine to the coiled lamb, centuries old, tucked away here, outside the marble parapets and cloaked in the dust of time. It's lost to those who'd sneer at the veneration of Reshif over other fathers. Step inside and voice a prayer if you are willing. Zapur is hated by robots for releasing snakes into one of their camps. I think I will not share my water with you, Zapur. I apologize. But I will share some secrets I have learned. And we will voice a silent prayer for the coiled lamb. In 2 AR, Rebecca died of glot rot, and on her deathbed, Reshif forgave her and absolved her of sin. He allowed her to be buried in the village of Ezra, outside the gate to the tomb of the Eaters, and beneath the shadow of the spindle. Okay. Where did the warden go? Let's auto-explore a little bit. I always love visiting the 6 Day Stilt. There are lots of tents here with traders and craftspeople. Not sure where the warden went. They might be in a shop somewhere. But let's go in here. And here is the well that we must toss the trinket we were given, which I believe we still have. At least we should. I suppose there's a potential we lost it. I'm not seeing it. Oh, here it is, the salt mill. That's what we must toss in. In this temple is Eshelstadt II, High Priest of the Stilt. The Onias is robed in flowing machinic regalia. He is the voice of Shekinah, and so he wields the charm of words to give depth cues on the shape of the Cassafessence, and repeats the story of the fathers who transited her from the ideal to the material. As crown head of the White Dune Sea, he leads the high priests in tracing the circuit diagrams of the second canticles, and moderates their hermeneutic divisions. Before we speak to him, let's look at this well, the sacred well. Sphinx scenes of post-edification glamour are arrayed in gold and sunken relief around the lip of the black marble fount. The tracery of its bright veins spikes the eye, but down well, recedes into a starless depth. And so we are going to toss. Oh, it's not in here. I thought it was that. I guess our only task was to visit, not necessarily toss something in, but we can toss something in. I'll toss this chem cell in. As an offering. And speak to Eshelstadt. The preacher says, "In the name of Bel, rain your alloys down to the heart of the stilt. Your thirst is mine, Eshelstadt. We want the mechanimist. Rep." In the name of Dagon, speak Chrome's prayer and unholster your light rods. Eshelstadt has nothing of import to say, just encouragement to toss your relics. Wow, cool. This marble relief. This is an exquisitely detailed high relief cut from precious cerulean marble. It depicts the sacred joining, as recounted by Shekinah, the father to the temple high priests. In the early dawn of our universe, the Argent Fathers roamed the timeless ether with inert hearts. There, in the coldest distance of space, they discovered beauty and chrome incarnate, the Cassafessence. Together they wrought machines from her naked womb to inhabit 100 earths. In the scene here, the Fathers first approach her radiance. They are led by Shekinah, who occupies a position of prominence. Let's see, what else is in here? Various statues. Let's see. Statue of Nisroch. Nisroch, the Star Mason, is depicted here straddling the earth with his mighty legs. He dons his favorite sash, whose folds are exquisitely worked in gold. The statue of Bel wears its tremendous weight in polished marble. He wields his epochal aegis, storied for obstructing a swirling gas cloud in the starry dawn. Dagon the Orator domineers the West Apse with his brazen pose. His golden coronet shines splendidly in the fire's shine. Here's a hologram of Shekinah. Glorious Shekinah, Argent Adonis and First Father, poses in luminous mummery. With the stature of the ageless stars fixed and permanent, he appraises the temple erected in his honor and cocks his head in approval. Befitting the memory of his union with the Cassafessence, he clothes his manifestation in cerulean shades, forsaking the viridians and russets of the lowly plants and clay earth. Above it all, Shekinah. Here's another representation of Shekinah, sculpted into permanence with magnificent cerulean marble. His body is chiseled to blessed perfection. His golden diadem crowns him father among fathers. Carthax, the athlete, is depicted here mid-stride. His glistening silver hair is tied behind his head in astral tradition as he vaults through the firmament. The firmament. And Reshef, who's called the Above, lifts an enigmatic finger to heal the wounds of the sick. Among those sultans, Reshef, I certainly appreciate. Shekinah being a being of perfection, or praised as such. Above physical things like plants and earth. And the important bit here for us is to speak to the librarian, Sheba Hagadius, gyro humor and librarian of the Stilt. In the narthex of the Stilt, cloistered beneath a marble arch and close to her argent fathers, she muses over a tattered codex. She's safe here, but it wasn't always that way. As a youngling, her own kind understood her little. Only when she was gifted a copy of the Canticles Chromaic did she learn comfort, or mirth, or reason. Her journey to the Stilt took several years, but now that she's here, Sheba seeks to consolidate all the learning of the ages tucked away in Qud's innumerable chrome nooks. Here she prepares a residence where pilgrims can study the wisdom of others and bring themselves nearer to the divinity of the Casafessence. Live and learn, wanderer. Have you come across any books or scrolls in your travels? Do you care to donate one to the cathedral library? Whenever you return, you may speak to me and read anything you've donated. I do want to give Sheba at least a couple books if we can. I don't want to reach level 12 just yet, but we can give some books. Who roamed the azure edge fades, slides into a circlet, and experienced identical symptoms, burning fever. That will give us something like 900-ish XP. We can grasp each other. The rest we'll hold on to. Where is the library? Oh, we're in but the first phase of its foundation. The church was amassed a splendid collection of scripts through the years. Glorious Shekinah, praise be upon him, gifted us with several caches. The Eremites worked day and night reproducing them in the scriptorium, and I have taken it upon myself to beseech travelers, for the rarest finds often come from the least likely places. We did come across a strange amount of books in a random ruin, so Sheba's right. What use is a library in this assaulted den, or in the marshes, strangled by wild plants and poisoned by the glow? Wouldn't a stash of vine reapers serve us better? You share the pessimism of my kin, and several of the priests as well. My heart hears you, but listen to my words, and maybe you will come to feel as I do. To devalue wisdom is to devalue the Casafessence. She shines in the void, reflecting light, illuminating those around her. So does the written wisdom of our elders. The machinery of chromium is complex in its divinity. Don't we do a disservice to our fathers when we remain ignorant of it, of our past, of our future? Don't we deserve the joy of knowing? Bless Eshelstock the second, first child, for he believes as I do. Live and drink, chronicler, and thank you. It is in its first stages of construction. much to speak of in the way of a library, but I'm happy to donate. Let's eat. And we can preserve our fresh foods and cook something up for us as a celebration. Vine wafer and jam. And we added a Gutsmonger's face to the spot. Whenever you take damage, there's a 9% chance you don't thirst for the next 12 hours. Ooh, that's nice. Well, we're here. And we are on our way to level 12, which means we are ready to go to Golgotha in terms of our level. But we do need gear. So let's visit the traders here and see what we can find. Ulnar stimulators. When activated, they give strength and agility. That's nice. Not worth 149 drams, personally. Okay. Let us explore the Stilt grounds and see what there is on offer. Herbs and tonics. And it seems we have food, organs for machine and folk. Ooh, that's actually, we want that. The Gutsmonger. Yes, 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 yes. Let's see what they have. Reactive trauma plate. Neutralizes one damage source that would cause a lethal amount of damage or deal at least 50% of your max HP. This implant is destroyed in the process. Oh. A contoured plasteel body plate absorbs impact shock and disintegrates into the bloodstream. That's cool. Night vision. Night vision's okay. Navigation system. Geosocial location data is painted across the glass loon and is underlaid with representations of the living loam that has shifted over Earth to take its place. Cool. So it reduces chance of becoming lost. Hyperelastic ankle tendons give move speed, which is nice. Carbide hand bombs. Your fists deal 2d3 damage. That's nice, but I think we already have... Yes, we have a cybernetic on our hands already. Bionic hands. So that's fine. Beautiful visage. +2 ego. I might take that. Extra ego is good for us. And night vision, of course. But that also goes on the face. I'm going to take beautiful visage and see what we can trade. We have this boomstick that is worth a lot, but think it's going to be important. Sometimes you can receive quests that ask for unique items like this. Give them the rubber gum injector. And some books, I suppose. We'll find more books. That will do. We'll pony up 30 drams, and that will be fine. Which leaves us with 19 drams. So if we can sell something or make some money back, that would be good. We also need to find another becoming nook to install our visage, though we could go back to the rusted archway and use the nook down there. Shoemaker and stylish hats. We'll pass. Oh, this seems good. Oh, wisdom and knowledge. A bookseller. Bookbinder. A Schrodinger page. These are rare. From the Annals of Qud, the Crabs chapter. Nary a scholar knows who composes the Annals of Qud, or when the chronicling began, but the quantivists devised a way to entangle their own pages with the official ledger, allowing them to insert themselves into the histories in a favorable light. A few such pages remain. My understanding of these, and I haven't often found these, but one can read these pages and gain rep in the associated faction, in this case, crabs. But our reputation with crabs is pretty good, so we'll pass. But it is good to note that there is a bookbinder here. Lots of food merchants. Another gutsmonger. Wow. Tubular hydrojets. 200 move speed while swimming. Destroyed when uninstalled. That's cool, but pretty niche. Force modulator. You can walk through force fields. That's interesting. That is interesting. And it's cheap. Now, is it useful though? Perhaps not right now. I've already have 2 cybernetics that I need to implant. So we'll hold. We can always come back for a restock. Preserved foods. More food. Okay. More hats. another bookbinder. And they also have a Schrodinger page. And some of these books, these yellow books, I believe, are pre-written. So if we were to acquire them, we could read them in their entirety. So if we're in need of Schrodinger pages, we can come by here, pick some up. Data discs. Where's the shop owner? Oh, they must have walked off. Let's wait until morning if we can. And maybe they'll be back. Ah, there they are. The schematics drafter. What do we have? Fitted with filters. This is an item mod. Protects against breathing in dangerous gases. Okay. Point defense drone. Oh. Allowing the drone to scan for incoming projectiles and shoot them down with laser light. That's valuable, but really expensive. We need to go adventuring to acquire things to make money. Here's more data discs. This is a really excellent stealth grounds. Phase conjugate. This explosive shifts phase immediately before detonating. What else? Chrome revolver, an Eigen pistol. Perpendicular to the neon azure barrel is a square-plated scope inset with a large ocular lens. The sight through the lens distorts as the gun tilts, but the vector drawn remains unchanged. So it's like a red dot sighted pistol. That's cool. Okay. Who is this? Chain gun, turret, tinker, and hired guard. I wonder what would happen if I were to rebuke this robot. Though I think rebuking a robot is temporary. I'm not actually sure how rebuke robot works. You admonish a robot into following your commands. I could try, but it's a hired guard. I'm not sure it would be fairly uncouth, I would say, to do that. And we're back with yet another gutsmonger who has bionic arm, +2 strength, grafted mirror arm. You gain an extra thrown weapon slot. When you perform a throw, you throw all of your thrown weapon slots at once. Cool. Inflatable axons. Activated cooldown, you gain 40 quickness for 10 rounds, and then you become sluggish for 10 rounds. Menacing stare. And translucent skin, which gives dodge value. The diaphanous dermis throws the circulatory, muscular, and nervous networks into silhouetted relief. Awesome. Oh, no, that's a gold folk shaman. I thought that was the warden. I have no idea where the warden went. Unless this is the warden. No. The wardens are blue, so I'm not sure where the warden ran off to. But that's okay. And here is another quest giver. This is Lulihart Hindran Pariah. There is little more to the slight deerkin than a bundle of spindly limbs, patchy pale green fur, and tooth-white skin. Despite being one of the dune's more delicate creatures, they perch on their hooves with easy composure. Now, I'm not going to talk to Lulihart right now anyways. Oh, there's the warden. They came back. Lulihart gives a quest that I did in my previous playthrough. In early access, if you want to see that quest, I've already done it, so for now I won't be doing it. Warden's Esther. There's a saying among the vintners who hoist their sails toward the Stilt. 1 rose is fair, 5 is death. Indeed, when a single shawl swathes her face, and the Esthers are one, there is peace beneath the Stilt. But when she's joined by her sisters, and scarlet ribbons thrash in the desert air, there is only blood and justice. Live and drink, traveler. Welcome to the Stilt. I wish I would have caught you earlier, Wardens. I apologize. This is the 6 Day Stilt, huh? It's colossal, beautiful. I see why the Chrome Stewards gather here. Then you're not of the faith yourself, huh? Me neither. Do go inside, though. She's a beauty. Got dyed glass high in her rafters, she does, and 2 marvelous carvings on the wings, plus a light sculpture of a god. Hear the sermon, too, as you like. The high priest is persuasive, but not half as persuasive as the cathedral herself. In beauty there is power, you know. Either way, while you're in the cathedral or on the Stilt grounds, stay peaceful. So many folks. The clamor of it all can overwhelm. The glow crows say 'twas a bird god who'd taught folks to gather like this, in large flocks. So blame birds. I like that. Live and drink, Wardens. Well, there's a nice campfire here we can stay at. I'll whip up another meal real quick. It is harvest dawn on the 16th. Well, we got distracted, as I am wont to do at the start. But that's okay. I think now that we've cleared at least a couple quests, I believe we're ready to go to Golgotha. And perhaps another time we can visit the embassies. Maybe when we're looking to actually explore the Rainbow Wood. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you found this video relaxing despite the meandering. But thank you for listening. spending time with me. Next time we will go straight to Golgotha, and if you find me getting distracted, I apologize. In any case, please take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Live and drink.